The coaches I see misuse tools in career work are not the ones who lack good tools. They are the ones who reach for a tool when the silence in the session makes them uncomfortable, or when the session needs to move and they are not sure where. Tool selection that serves the work starts with the persona and reads the moment. Then, sometimes, a tool. There is a tell for tool selection that isn't serving the work. The coach has a full toolkit and has found that tools give session structure and give clients something to do. Over time, the reflex becomes, when the conversation stalls, reach for a tool. When the client needs to move, introduce a structure. The problem with that reflex is that it bypasses the third question in the sequence. The tool fills the silence better than the coaching question would. It produces output, a completed worksheet, a ranked list, a filled-in exercise. The output does not necessarily produce motion. Tool selection that serves the work runs 3 questions first, in sequence. The third one is the one that gets skipped. 3 questions in order. Question 1. Persona fit. Does this client's persona create conditions where this tool will land, or conditions where it will produce resistance? The laid-off executive in early grief work will often resist a future-oriented decision framework. The energy is not there yet. The pivoter with analysis paralysis often wants more structure, not less. Question 2. Moment fit. Is this moment in the session asking for structure or for space to stay with something uncomfortable? A client who has just named something that caused them to name is not waiting for a worksheet. Question 3. Coaching question test. Would an open coaching question produce the same data this tool would produce? If the answer is yes, the tool is optional at best. That is the question most often skipped, because answering it honestly sometimes means putting the tool away. Persona tool alignment follows the engagement shape. For the laid-off executive, the value sort, core value clarity M3 mindset, serves the identity work because it provides an anchor when the identity is loose. The identity work needs regrounding, not a pivot direction. For the mid-career pivoter, the decision frame worksheet, decision-making framework M2 exec, keeps the client building and owning the decision criteria rather than handing the decision to the coach. For the stuck mid-careerist, the saboteur naming card, inner critic identification worksheet M3 mindset, names the maintaining force without requiring a category decision, which is what the stuck work needs before experiments can land. For the returner after a caregiving gap, strength surfacing, strength exploration M2 career serves the confidence anchor work. For the late career encore client, purpose mapping and the time horizon frame give structure to questions the open conversation tends to avoid. These are hypotheses to check against the actual moment, not rules. A composite case, the tool selection misuse. A stuck mid-careerist, session 4, same 3 options she has held since session 1. The coach introduces the decision frame worksheet. The client fills it out carefully. The criteria are solid, the weights are honest. At the end, she looks up and says, "I guess I still don't know." The tool produced a completed worksheet. The coach deployed a pivoter's tool with a stuck client. The stuck client does not need a better decision framework. She needs the coach to ask what is holding the decision immovable. The tool bypassed the actual work by providing an output that looked like progress. 3 sessions later, the folder has 3 worksheets and no change behavior. A composite case for when the tool lands. A returner in her early 40s arrives with a sponsor-paid Clifton Strengths report she has never had anyone help her use. 3 questions in sequence. Does this persona create conditions where this tool will land? The returner's presence-building work is a natural fit. The caregiving gap has eroded confidence, and an existing assessment gives the conversation a concrete anchor in what the client already holds. Is this moment asking for structure? She brought the report herself. The signal is that she wants to work with it. Would an open question produce the same data? Possibly, but not as efficiently given where she is in the engagement. All 3 check. The tool lands. The coach uses the assessment without interpreting it, asking the client what each named pattern means in her current context, 4 years from when she took it. 3 sessions later, if the tool has not been serving the work, the evidence is a folder of completed worksheets and no change behavior. Auditing tool use in career sessions. For each tool introduced in the last 3 sessions, run question 3 honestly. Was the tool doing work the coaching question could not do? Or was it doing work a coaching question could have done faster? The answer is calibration data, not a verdict on the tools themselves. The tools in the library are built for career work. The question is whether the specific tool served this specific persona at this specific moment, or whether it produced output that maintained the stuck pattern, or rushed the grief, or decided for the pivoter by providing a framework that felt like a decision. This course points to Coaching Tools Mastery, Prac-Tools, for the full judgment architecture around tool selection, adaptation, sequencing, and retirement across all coaching contexts, not just career. The 4 tool spotlight videos in M2, M3, and M4 showed one tool used well inside one persona engagement. That is the entry point. Prac-Tools builds the complete discernment frame for coaches who want it. How to evaluate a new tool before adding it to the library. How to adapt an existing tool when the client's context changes its meaning. How to recognize when a tool has passed its usefulness in an engagement. Pointing there is a service to the learner. The 3-question sequence taught across M2 through M7 is sufficient for the career coaching work in this course. The deeper frame is available when the work calls for it.